Hey all, this is episode 28. This is Ego and Vice. I don't have any guests in the studio tonight, but I do have my right-hand man. You know him. You love him. He's been on the show many times. This is Mr. Paulie J. Fox.
Yo, that's me.
And as you know, when we get together, we try to stick to the format, but it usually strays left, right, east, south. Who the fuck knows?
Nah, we don't give a fuck.
Episode 28. Anything goes.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Oh, the subtle sounds of the old Smoking a 40. That's not Smoking a 40. What song is that?
Smoking a 40?
Yeah, no, it's Algoma Bay. That's what
Algoma
it is.
Bay. Yeah.
The intro music to the Ego and Vice podcast, which I gave myself permission to play.
That was very nice of you.
That was very nice of me. Hey, what's going on? My name is Mike. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 28. I have my right-hand man, the man of the hour, Mr. Paulie J. Fox in the Southwood studio tonight.
Yeah, I think I've finally gotten the hang of this podcasting thing. I think the trick is that you need to be like 3-4 beers in by the time you start the podcast, not by the time you end the podcast. I think that was the problem.
Well, yeah, but if you're 3-4 beers in before you start the podcast, by the end of the podcast you're about 7 or 8, so it's fucked damned if you do.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucked when you do. How's that work for you?
I like that. How are you?
I'm good,
How
man.
Are things?
Oh
new?
Shit, same as always, I suppose. Lots on the go. Always trying to keep busy. Normally I will do a podcast on a Monday, but I actually had a guest in yesterday. Was supposed to have a guest in yesterday, but he had to cancel because he double booked himself. So next Tuesday, I'm going to have a legend of the Ottawa music scene. And I'm not going to tell you who it is, just because I'd rather just spring it on you. But he guaranteed me next week. He said it's set in stone. So as always, Paulie J is
the alternative.
No, he's not the alternative. He's just, but it was time anyway. I think I asked you I asked you a couple weeks ago, but you had prior obligations. Of course, I did ask you about an hour before the podcast began.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what's new with you? What's going on?
Oh man, I'm just excited about these shows we got coming up. I've been listening to a bunch of old stuff. I ended up kind of shuffling around what I've got on my fucking old as fuck iPod in my car.
Right.
It's older than my son, this fucking thing. I had this thing for it's been almost 15 years now.
Paulie listens to music on his pager.
Yeah, on my pager. That's it. So I've got this old as fuck iPod, and I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and there hasn't been too much room for songs. So I've kind of been going with these auto-generated playlists, and one of them was the only one that's got just enough songs that fit in the amount of space I have is 90s music is the auto-generated one. So it's been a lot of like Garbage and Nirvana and
all those fancy bands.
Oh man, Our Lady Peace and stuff like
God.
that. It's been fun.
The door you walked in for Southwood, it swings that way as well.
That's it.
Fucking Our Lady Peace. Are you kidding me? No, I'm just kidding. Good Canadian band.
No, they were a lot better. The older stuff was decent, and then it just kind of turned into something that I don't enjoy anymore.
You're my hero, Rain. No. Yeah, but
I don't know effects on it too. Rancid.
cool.
It's a decent mix.
I have my go-tos when it comes to music because I don't go very long without listening to music. I wake up and I start singing to myself, and I'm laying in bed and I'm on my phone and I'm like tapping away, and I'm like, okay, got to get up, do my thing, and I throw my headphones on. And what I've been doing lately, I have my go-tos, which I'll always like listen to.
Yeah.
But some days I'm just not in the mood to hear the same stuff which is fucking awesome other days, but some days you're just like, meh, I don't want to listen to that again. So there's something on Spotify. I go to Spotify because Spotify is kind of my go-to because everything you want to listen to is kind of there, and it's the future, and it's technology, and it's just like, it's just like when you can't think of something, someone says, hey, what was that guy's name from blah, blah, blah? You go straight to Google, right?
Yeah.
I'm on like the YouTube wormhole or something like that, and I'll see something that associates with something. And I'm like, I remember that song. Spotify. There, and it's there. Yeah. What I've been doing, and I'm sure everybody else does this, but I'm an old cock, so I'm slower than most people. I've been listening to like the Daily Mix, something on Spotify called the Daily Mix.
Yeah.
Where if you go to the homepage, basically it has this column that says, "This is your mix for the day."
Right.
And I hit the Daily Mix, and it's kind of one thing I like about Spotify, it associates what you listen to with other bands kind of in the genre, like.
Yeah, it'll give you people who listen to this also listen to that.
It's kind of like the whole Netflix engine, right? Where it's just like because you watch Orange Is the New Black, you might like this.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And I sit there and I'm always open to like new stuff. I love hearing new music because I'll be driving down the street, and I shouldn't be doing this, but I'll be driving and a song will come on and I'll grab my phone. I'm like, what is this? This is good. And I'll see it, and then I'll just get obsessed with that band.
You want to know?
Day.
Yeah.
I'll get obsessed with that band for the day, and then I'll just listen to that band all day, and and then I'll make my judgment at the end of the day. Do I want to listen to this?
Do
tomorrow?
I like that or not? Yeah.
Yeah, but I found a lot of cool bands that way, man. Like a lot of good bands.
Yeah. See, I end up going a different route with it when I hear a song that I like. Is instead of listening to more things by that same artist, and I really love my girlfriend, and I say a lot of things that she hates when I do this, and I make it sound like she's horrible, but she's really lovely.
He's backpedaling this episode.
No. It's because what I do is I'll sit there and I'll hear a song that I like, and then I will obsessively play it over and 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 try and figure out why I like it, and try and listen to all the little parts and trying to listen to every little detail of every part of that song to see why I like it so much. Yeah, Oh. I'll listen to the same thing on repeat like forever. You ask Kayla, she'll go on about it. She'll go on about how much I do that, and she's wonderful.
Not backpedaling that he loves his girlfriend. I know he loves his girlfriend, but the last couple times he was on the show, I'd say, "Hey, Paulie, thanks for being on the show," and he's like, "Yeah, I got nothing fucking better to do." And being in the marital bliss that you are, your fine girlfriend, Kayla, said, "Oh, nothing better, huh?" So. As relationships go, he had to explain himself. So good
of
done.
Course.
Well done.
I
this
think
one.
I did a decent job this time.
I think you did all right.
Complimented her at least 2.5 times, and there's probably more to come.
Cool, man. So speaking of that, how about we just like play a song?
What song?
I don't know. We were talking about Spotify and you getting obsessed about a song here and there. And normally I play local stuff, but I'm just going to take a risk and play something that I've really been fucking a little obsessed with, speaking of what you said.
Yeah. Well, it's good to gratify your obsessions for once in a while.
Ego and Vice is a non-profit organization. I make no money off this.
Here's your backpedaling.
All I want to do is promote. And this song has been stuck with me for, I don't know, the last few days. So I'm just going to play it because I love it, and I think you should love it too. It is a song called St. Andrew's Hall. This is Nothington.
We made it here this far. 16-hour days. Copacetic, I've still got the weight of the world on me. We made it here this far. When she's leaving,
So yeah, I didn't actually take time off the podcast. I guess I broke out of the regular numbered schedule. This being episode 28. I think the last one I did was probably about 3 weeks ago, which was episode 27. But I had a few things on the go, and I had people in the studio. Last week, I had all the members of Hearts and Minds in.
Oh, that's right. How was that? How was that show?
Well, the show that yeah, okay. So Hearts and Minds was a band that I was in for about 5 years, and I actually left the band in January. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. It was just like, it was time to kind of move on. You know, I wanted to kind of like take a little bit different handle on things and kind of prioritize what I was doing, because I was kind of burning the candle at both ends, so to speak.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean. I had that same thing with the Montreal band the other time, where it was well, it might not even be the same thing, but on my end, it was there was a lot going on in my life at that time, and I had to start kind of letting things go. And you know, it might not be the same with you, but it
was the same thing. You know, it was like the new year, and it was just like assessing things, and it was just like, you know what, I need to kind of condense this down, trim the fat type of deal, and just
treat
kind
yourself.
You know, you can put a quarter of your attention into 10 things, or you can put 75% of your attention into 3 things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever, because you still have to have balance and whatnot. So anyway, it doesn't matter. So anyway, I ended up leaving the band, and by all means, they were going to go on and do their own thing, and then they decided to end the band a couple months after I left, and I was like, oh, okay, man, if that's guys what you want to do. So so they had a couple shows left, and they decided to honor those commitments.
Yeah.
And it was on the eve of their last show. I messaged, because they're my friends in that band, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They were together for 9 years, and I approached them and I said, how would you guys like to all 4 of you be on the podcast and just, you know, tell your story and explain like where you're from and whatnot? I just did it again, motherfucking whatnot. Did you hear it?
I heard it that time.
I'm trying not to say whatnot as much as I do. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I said, come on the podcast. A couple of the guys, Jay and Matt from the band, had been on the podcast before, but they told their own personal stories, which included Hearts and Minds, right? But I said, hey, why don't you come on the show, and as a collective, start from the beginning. I'll do it because I have a side series with Ego and Vice. So I have the Ego and Vice podcast, but I also have the Ego and Vice Spotlight, where I just focus the whole show kind of on one
topic.
Yeah, all the music is from one thing and whatever. And they said, yeah, let's do it. So they all came in, and we sat down and we had a long conversation. Where you been, what you doing, and why you ending the band. And it was cool. So I haven't been away from the podcast. I've just
been focusing on other things.
I've just been away from the format.
Yeah,
whatever. So on the eve,
I can't wait to hear that.
So on the eve of their last show, I had them in, and yeah, it was kind of cool. You know, it was nice. It was nice to sit with the guys again, like all 5 of us in the room again.
Yeah, that's got to be good. I don't know. I've been in my share of bands, and then sometimes you get together like years later and just sit down and have a beer, and you're like, oh shit, what have you been up to? Kind of thing. You catch up. This wouldn't have been catching up more than just reminiscing, I think. But that's fun to do too.
Yeah, we were all just sitting there as like a bunch of bros, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, bro? Not much, bro. But
is that what the episode's like? It's bro back and forth. Hey, bro.
There's only so many bros that can get dropped in South Hood, you know.
Yeah.
But shit. Yeah, I guess I again approached them, and I said, hey, do you guys mind if I come up and play a song with you guys at the last show? And they said, yeah, that's cool, man. Whatever you want to do, you know. If that's, I'll talk to the guys, and yeah, we're good. So I got the okay to do that, and then the night of the show came, and I brought my guitar to my girlfriend's, and I had a couple of beers, and I was supposed to be there. I guess I was supposed to be there around 10 or something like that, because they were going at like 11. I ended up taking a little nap. I was just like, I gotta take a nap. It's going to be a late night. because it was at the Rainbow, which is a fucking rad establishment in Ottawa, but it goes late, right?
Yeah.
So I woke up from the nap, and I was feeling kind of sleepy, and I don't know, like you can take a nap at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and wake up and wake up at like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Say you sleep for an hour and you shake it off, and you're like, okay, it's still daylight, but you take a nap at like 9 o'clock at night,
You're out.
Your body's like,
You're done.
See you in the morning.
Yeah.
So I woke up and I actually wasn't feeling very good. I thought my girlfriend actually poisoned me.
Shit.
No, I'm just kidding. I love her. Anyway, and I wasn't feeling good, and she as I was sleeping, she spent like an hour just getting ready, and I woke up and she's looking just like stunningly going out good. And I'm just sitting there and with slobber on my face and stuff like that. And she's like, come on, we got to go. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not going. And I texted one of the guys from the band, and I said, you guys do your thing. I'm not coming. And the next morning, I sat there and I thought, and I'm like, what? Did I miss something? And then I thought, why did I want to do that in the first place? Like, when I was in the band, it was one thing. When I left the band, I was actually kind of happy that I left the band because I felt good about it. I didn't have obligation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I spent the day thinking about it and realized that I don't really even give a shit. Like, I don't even give a shit. I don't even know why it didn't, So why would I give a shit about that?
Well, I'll tell you why. And I think it comes down to something we were talking about before we started the podcast, which is you will take every opportunity you can to ham it up. You want to get up on stage. You like getting up on stage, and you want to do that kind of thing. So that's why you would want to do it, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. It was strictly for my own ego, I suppose, to get up there.
Well, and no, that's for the audience too, but
yeah, I guess.
You get up there for the purpose of entertaining, right? So it's everybody's a winner.
Yeah.
Everybody's a winner when you do that.
But it was like one of those kind of like things where it was just like that night I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, they're fine. They're good, man. They're fine.
they're better without you anyway.
Well, I didn't I feel like I didn't make too much of an impact in the band, so why should I do the last show? That's good. But hey, Jay, Mick, Rob, and Matt, congratulations on a long career, and I hope whatever you guys do brings you joy, and you guys do really well. I heard the show went really good, and I'm proud of you guys. So, wish I could have been there, but it wasn't feeling good.
9 years. We're creeping up on 9 years ourselves.
Yeah,
it's getting pretty close.
Let's talk about Goat, because we have some stuff coming up, man. We have what's the date today?
Oh Jesus! Like the 11th of April, 10th or 11th of April.
Okay, so
It's like a couple weeks away from the. It's a couple weeks away from the Living Dead's.
Yeah.
10th.
Okay, it's the 10th today. So on April 21st at the bar Café de Cuff, we're playing with the Living Deads.
Yeah.
That's going to be rad because we played with me and Paulie played with the Living Deads about 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that was just a couple years into Goat, and I remember it being one of the most. I think that was one of the more memorable early shows that we did because man, that was a night. That was a night.
Yeah, it was fun. It was at Zephod Bibelbrox.
Yeah,
the Live Long and Prosper bar, which is not there anymore. But that's cool. And this band came in, and I can't even remember how we snagged that show. I have no idea.
I don't even know, man. Those guys are a phenomenal act.
Yeah, because we were new. We were a new band, and I think I just started reaching out to people, and somehow that gig landed in our lap, and that was one of the bigger shows that we played. Because the Living Deads are a hard-working band, and they tour like fucking crazy.
They're living the dream.
They are living the dream. They own an RV, and they travel across North America in their RV, and they say home is where we can park our RV or some bullshit like that.
Yep. And when it's cold up in Canada, we're gonna go do shows down in Texas. You know, summertime in Canada. Let's come on back up and do some more shows up here. It's they just travel around doing shows. They got they got people in different places that they play with. It's the drummer and stand-up bass. That's so much fun.
Cool, man. So 5 years later, Goat is going to play with the Living Deads at Cafe de Cuff, and that's going to be fucking rad. Because I remember that show, specifically because they were so cool. Like afterwards, we just hung out, we had beers, and we took a bunch of pictures together. And
well, I remember thinking to myself too, because we went and see these guys. It was great, and the drummer. I think maybe this is why you don't, you didn't have it in your head, is because the guy's sitting there with just like a kick drum and a snare and like a cymbal, and that's it. And he just rocks the fuck out of it. It's great.
Yeah.
But I remember it being one of the more memorable ones because they're such an act. You go see some bands and they can play music, and you go see some bands and the guy can sing or whatever. They got a few talented people, but this is it's a show. It's a show. That's what I like about it. Is it's not just people playing music on a stage. It's a performance.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well,
it's great
music,
stuff.
Live bands are performance art, I guess, to a certain degree.
Oh, for sure.
Not always like pop art and trash art and whatever, but it's still, it's not like Othello.
No,
but
it's entertainment.
That's
what it's got to be.
Oh, excuse me. You entertain the masses. It's funny looking back at those times, though, like early, because 7 years later, fucking. After 7 years of really, really hard work, we've made some great contacts, and shows kind of come to us at times. We still have to look for shows and try to put stuff together, but it's really nice the longer you're together and you put the time in, where people will kind of reach out to you and be like, hey, we played together here and whatever, we'd love to have you on the show. But back in the early days when we first started this band, it was just like, I can't for the life of me remember how I used to book shows. I guess I used to just reach out and talk to people. And
I think it was just knowing like Eugene, and knowing like you just get to talking to people and saying, hey, you got a show coming up, you're looking for somebody. Oh yeah, hey,
I can't remember somebody. Man. I have no idea how that show happened.
I think the first little bit was helped along by the competitions we were in at the time. This the whole thing started with the
money shot?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We never did shit in that.
No. But I mean, that kind of gets you into the networking scene, where you're talking to other bands that are, maybe doing, they got another show coming up that they're looking for somebody. And
I guess, but I don't remember ever networking with with that organization. Not that I have anything bad to say about them.
No. But I mean, I'm just trying to throw ideas out there of how it started happening, because it's rough to do, but then you end up just kind of maybe just lucking out sometimes and saying, hey, we do this show, and then some people kind of notice and say, oh yeah, those guys. I get in these. Maybe that's it too. Maybe it's just making a name for yourself by having the maximum amount of people remembering you.
No, you got to work for it too. You got to work for it. Like, everything can fall in your lap for sure, but it's not about falling in your lap. It's about you got to make it fall in your lap by being memorable and being entertaining. Yeah, no, for sure. But I think I get in little stages in my brain where it's just like, some days I won't reach out to anybody and I'll sit here and just like watch fucking TV and stuff like that. But then I get an idea in my brain someday during the course of the day, and then I come home and I sit on the internet for fucking 5 hours and I reach out to people, and then I wake up the next morning and realize I drank 9 beers and I reached out to fucking 23 people, and 24 of them I'm like, oh god, I can't believe I called. But then you get a call back, right? And it's just like, oh man.
Oh, it's just putting as many feelers out there as you can, and then seeing what sticks, kind of thing. I think it helps too that lately we've been playing shows with bands that we've been as you branch out. I think we've been finding more bands that kind of suit or complement, the kind of thing that we do, or even just we have the same kind of vibe of people wanting to have fun together. That's important, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it's been lately, I think. I feel like our shows lately have been more of we're doing shows with bands that we feel like have the same energy.
Well, that's the idea. Right?
Yeah. Oh, it's just been coming together a little bit more, I think, lately.
Hey, man, I would love to play a show with like us and like a comedian and like a burlesque show and like a fucking dancing monkey. I'd love to do that. That'd be rad. But you gotta work on those. You know what I mean? When it comes to like venues and stuff like that, they want to put a show together that kind of makes sense for them, brings the same crowd of people out.
Yeah, I think all those things you just described pretty much sum up us and the Living Deads.
Yeah,
that's half of what you just said.
Maybe next goat show should be a fucking goat, an actual goat.
Yeah, we'll get a goat.
A burlesque show, a dancing monkey, and a comedian. But the Living Deads are fucking a great band. So let's play a Living Dead song.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. Living Deads, they are from, you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Home is where they park it.
I love it.
I respect that.
I love it. I love it so much. That's, like I said, living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Just living the dream. Lots of microwave burritos, I'm sure. Nothing wrong with microwave burritos.
when you were saying that, but man, that's again, no different. Living the dream.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
This is the Living Deads off their brand new record, Home is Where We Park It, with members Randy McKnight on the drums and vocals, and on the upright bass we have Symphony Tidwell. Living Deads. This is a song called Robot Kids. This is Ego and Vice. So what, microwave burritos?
Oh, fucking microwave burritos, man. You go to the grocery store and you just regret not buying things sometimes, man. That's my most recent regret. We're in the aisle where the frozen foods are, and we're getting, it's right by where the milk is, and we're getting the milk. I look over and it's just, they have those boxes full of like a bajillion of them, and there's just like a $1.50 each, and they're gonna make you fucking
microwave
diarrhea
burritos
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And those cheap ass fucking ones, man. Oh,
They're
dude,
fucking delicious, man.
oh, are they ever?
Yeah.
Are they ever? Those, you know what else too? Are those? You ever have those little tiny, maybe like 6-inch round pizzas that they come to like a little plastic?
Yeah, like the
container?
McCain.
Yeah. And you toss them in the microwave. I must have eaten hundreds of those when I was a kid, man. That would be, parents are gone for the night. You just fucking warm up some of those in the microwave. Fucking sit there and back when you were a kid and your body wouldn't just turn it to diarrhea and shit it right out because your body can't handle it anymore.
As you get older, like us, it doesn't turn it to fucking poop. It turns it to heart attack.
Yeah, that's it too.
It turns it into a cork that wedges strongly in the widowmaker artery.
Yep.
And you say, I regret nothing.
That's it. It was worth it. At the end of the day, it was worth it.
I try my best to eat somewhat fresh. I cook a lot. However, I do get lazy, especially at the tail end of the winter. And I went to the grocery store today, and it's so funny that I can go to like the beer store and drop like $40 on a case of beer, and I'll be like, meh, don't even think about it. I went to the grocery store today, and I bought like, some supplies, I suppose, that you want in your fridge. I bought some cheese. I bought some eggs. I bought some coffee. I bought, whatever. And it came to like $50. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? I can't fucking afford this. Yet I'm dropping $40 a day on beer, right?
Beer store, yeah. It's the same with me, fucking LC. Yeah. You go to the LC, you drop like you're getting like, okay, I need a bottle of Bailey's and some fucking Crown.
It's like exciting. It's like,
exactly. You come back, you don't think twice about having spent it, but that's like most of my grocery budget.
Yeah. But I'm on this kick right now where everything has to be wrapped in like a tortilla.
Oh yeah.
It's I can't eat anything unless it's like in a tortilla and you wrap it up and you eat it like a fucking fajita.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
I ended up buying these, which is really out of character for me, but I ended up buying these, speaking of like microwave burritos, but I ended up buying these... I'm
100% okay with getting back on the topic of microwave burritos.
Like frozen chicken strips.
Yeah.
Because they were on sale from like $12.99 to $6.99. I'm like, oh, I can't pass that up. That's a steal.
Yeah.
But I said to myself, and I'm looking at these chicken strips, I'm like, I can cook those in the oven. And I can put them in a tortilla. I could wrap that chicken strip.
Shred some cheese.
With some cheese.
And some lettuce and whatever you want.
Well, that's the reason I'm a fucking fat piece of shit right now. I'm supposed to run a half marathon in May, and it's less than a month away. No, a month. About a month and a half.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, I'm not running no half marathon anytime soon.
Well, I have certain things I put upon myself to make me feel like I'm not a fucking dying piece of shit. This winter has been rough, man. I don't know. It's like the older I get, it's like winters are slow down time anyway.
Yeah.
But this winter has been awful. Like I ran that half marathon in September, and I'm like, I'm going to keep this up during the winter. As soon as like the first light dusting of snow, fuck it.
Yeah.
Drink beer, microwave burritos, put it in a I get a microwave burrito, and I wrap it in a tortilla.
There you go.
Even though that's already in one.
No. See, now that's where you and me are different, because I don't know. Me, I used to be a fat motherfucker, and I don't know if there's a way that you can like take. I can send you a picture of me from.
No, I believe you. It's okay, man. Dude. I don't want to see that shit.
No, I know, but I'm talking for everybody listening. You want to see an old picture of me when I was like pushing 300 pounds? It was fucking stupid. And now I'm not a skinny guy right now by any means, but I'm comfortable at the weight I am, because right now I feel like, fuck, I'm in my fucking prime, even though I got a fucking gut on me.
No, you look good, man.
Well, no, I'm not doing terribly. Like I'm not I'm not, terribly overweight that my health is in danger or anything anymore. But that's it's interesting, because you're doing a half marathon, and here I am thinking, no, I'm never gonna do that, but I'm feeling fucking good. It's all relative,
Yeah, well, good for you.
You're doing as good as you feel, man.
Yeah, and we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, eh?
I don't know. Well, regardless, like last year I did 2 half marathons. I did the Ottawa race weekend in May, and then I did the Army run in September, and that was the first year I've always done the Army run for the last like 5 years. And then last year I decided to do 2. Yeah. And I came out of it, and I wasn't prepared for the May one, because I came out of the winter.
Well, I remember out of that one you were, yeah, but
weren't
doing so well.
I don't know if I'm going to do it this year. I'm going to do the Army run for sure, because I have all summer to train. But this year at the Ottawa race weekend in May, I was talking to my good buddy Chris Landry, who did his first half marathon last September. He might just do the 10K out of winter, and that seems reasonable. But I get super strict on myself, and I feel like bad about myself, and it's like, fuck. So we'll see how it goes.
No, I hope it goes well.
Yeah. So, shit, man. This has been a sporadic, weird podcast. I don't know what's happening.
I'm okay with it.
Getting back into Goat, we're playing a show May 14th with a band. I was on. I guess I should set this up. I was on a.
Set it up.
I was a guest on a podcast out of Red Deer, Alberta. You guys might know about Punk Normal Activity. It's a website on the internet. That's where most websites are. And it basically covers punk rock music across, I don't know, all facets of the globe. That's what they focus on. But they also have a podcast hosted by a guy named Jeff Hotta, who it's called Punk Normal Podcast, who basically does what I do or what most podcasters do, where they sit down and they do interviews and they talk about music and local music and music outside of their region or their country even.
Yeah.
And I ended up reaching out to Josh and I said, "Hey man, I host a podcast. You host a podcast. Why don't we try to do like a swap thing? I'll be on your podcast. You can be on my podcast." And he was just like, "Yeah, dope, man. That's awesome." So I was on Punk and Normal Podcast last week. It's posted up on egoandvice.com. It's also posted on the Facebook page. I guess. But he's in a band called Trashed Ambulance, and he is coming through on a Canadian tour, and he's playing, the big Canadian cities, a couple of small ones, but he didn't have a gig booked for Ottawa because it's a Monday.
Yeah.
So there's a guy who we know from Ottawa. His name's Jesse Brewer. He's in a band called the Fly Downs.
Yeah, man.
Who've Goat played with, and Jesse also writes a column for the Punk and Normal Activity website. So I guess as this show was getting put together, or this tour was getting put together, he reached out to Jesse. He's like, "This is the only guy I know in Ottawa." And Jesse was like, "Well, I can't really guarantee you a venue on Monday. Why don't you on a Monday? Why don't you just play at my house?" And Trash Ambulance was just like, "Yeah, dope, man. That sounds great.
Let's do it."
So when I was talking to Josh on the Punk and Normal, he mentioned off air, like, "Yeah, I'm playing Ottawa. I'm playing at Jesse's house." And I was like, "Cool." So once we were done that interview, I ended up sending Jesse a message. I'm like, "Hey, Jesse, I hear you're having a party at your house." And he's like, "Yeah, man, Josh is playing Trash Ambulance, this and that." And he's like, "You want in?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And he's like, "Okay, you're on the bill."
Who doesn't want to play that show?
So whether
that's the kind of show. That's the kind of show that's the most fun.
Yeah. So whether this party is private or not, now it's on the Ego and Vice podcast. Party at Jesse's, motherfucker.
Jesse's place, man.
Yeah. So it's May 14th. It's going to be Trashed Ambulance from Calgary, or from Red Deer, Alberta. It's going to be Goat. I'm sure there's going to be other things there other than beer pong and and shotgunning beers. And
lots of beer-related activities, I'm sure, but there's going to be some live music. It's going to be good.
Yeah, so
everybody come down. Everybody come down. You're all invited.
Yeah, so we're playing a house party, and it's going to be fucking rad, and I can't wait to I sent Josh a message, and I'm like, "I'm going to light Jesse's house on fire."
Well, see, now you're the problem is now you've said this on a in some kind of public.
Oh
manner.
shit! I've completely incriminated
you're
myself.
Prime suspect now.
Yeah. I won't do that, Jesse. I promise. But you better have Hot Pockets and some carrot sticks with some ranch dip. Else shit's gonna get ugly.
Okay, you ready before we go for another song?
Yeah.
You ready for this picture?
Yeah. What the fuck?
I know, dude. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna put this up. I'll put this up on the Goat
Paulie just
Facebook page or something.
How old were you there?
This I was. I would have been 20 years old. This is probably a decade and a half ago.
Is it glandular?
No, I've got something living inside of me, and it's just ballooned me up to nearly 300 pounds.
Who's the girl with you?
That's my ex-wife.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
You
I didn't deserve her.
You were that big bastard and she still loved you?
Yeah, I know, right? What the fuck?
And you let her go.
I can't
That's
explain
okay.
it. I can't explain it.
No, I'm just kidding. That's okay. You look great, man.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Now, I'm happy with what I look like now, man.
All right, cool. Just for the sake of us burning down Jesse's house, maybe we should play a Fly Down song.
Oh, I'm down for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, Jesse, sorry, dude. This is a song from the Fly Downs. It is, don't know what it's called yet. We'll name it after we're done. All right, cool, man. This is Ego and Fuzz.
Always taking things for granted. You could love, but you'll just stay till the block leaves you. Planet puts you in your fucking place. These things that are consuming us sure leave a lot of waste. Complaining about the present life, 'cause now everything seems great. So don't count on me, 'cause I will just be waiting right here. Self-defeated for no reason. Why does it have to be a drag? In a fucking picture, perfect moment, because there's no frame. These things that are consuming us sure leave a lot of waste. Complaining about the present life, 'cause now everything seems great. So don't count on me, 'cause I will just be waiting right here.
Would you sleep with Stormy Daniels?
Like Stormy Daniels now,
Oh, wow.
or Stormy Daniels a long time ago. I
Or
feel as
or
if either way the
2006.
answer is yes.
2006 Stormy Daniels.
I haven't seen a recent picture, and I'm gonna look it up right now.
And by picture, do you mean porno movie? You know how they say, "Oh, I have a new picture coming up."
pictures. Yeah, in the pictures.
Yeah.
No, no. I mean, actual image. Yes. Looking at now, yes, and looking at
Paulie carouses his phone.
20. Well, it's for science right now. Also past, yes.
So So
Absolutely.
you'd feel more comfortable sleeping with young Stormy Daniels than you would with old Stormy Daniels.
I would sleep with any Stormy Daniels, but I think that has to go with the caveat that I have the. I would sleep with just about anybody as long as it was a good story.
Okay.
And that's just who I am. If you give me if you said, "Hey, Paul, would you sleep with Penn Jillette?"
Who the fuck is that?
Penn and Teller. I'd be like, "You know what?
Oh, that guy.
Maybe if I got a good story out of it, I might."
Is he the big guy or the little guy?
He's the big guy.
The big guy. No, he's obnoxious. He just talked the whole way through.
Yeah, he would, wouldn't he? Okay, maybe not.
He would just
maybe
like
not him.
belittle you and make you feel bad.
I would suppose if I went for a story, it would have to be, I don't know. But the way I look at it though is that I'd probably sleep with just about anybody if it made a good story.
Okay. For who? Like, you have no what story? Just like sitting with me, or
so that I can come back on the podcast next. I can come back on episode 35 and say you'll never fucking guess who I slept with.
Okay.
Man, George Takei is a beast.
Yeah, so this is a guy who said something bad about or said he had nothing better to do at home, and his girlfriend gave him a hard time. However.
But Stormy Daniels, I put it in her. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Love you, baby.
Are you talking to Stormy? He doesn't even know at this point.
I'm several beers in at this point. Everyone.
Okay.
I love both of them.
I don't know about the whole Stormy Daniels thing. Like Trump, he can. I guess at some point, like this is 10 years ago, and maybe Trump was.
Is it only 10?
Was a touch more svelte back in the day.
Yeah.
And maybe he had a little bit less of a weave or a comb over and stuff like that. But,
a little bit.
I got to say that Donald Trump, before he was like president, he was just like some TV personality. Rich motherfucker.
Oh, well, rich as fuck. Fucking, goes around doing what he wants to do, man.
Yeah, but
like,
if
you
you
get to
really-
live the life when you got that much money.
If you really look at Donald Trump, he is a fucking chud. Hideous. But you have like a certain amount of money and you're playing golf at a golf course you own, and this like porn star comes up to you, and I don't think he probably didn't pay. Well, he ended up paying her, but I don't think he paid her at the time. He's just like, hey, you are so beautiful, and you know what I mean? Like, how smooth, how smooth can that motherfucker be? Honestly,
I'll tell you, for a guy that in my opinion, if I'm sitting there being objective about it, if I'm a girl, I'm looking at this guy saying, yeah, no, not the most attractive guy, but I don't know how much of that gets made up for by charisma and for having that character about you, right?
I don't know, man.
But,
like we've seen Donald Trump he's very, very public now to the point where he has to talk, like he likes to think he can talk his way out of anything and whatever, but we've seen the warts in that fucking logic, right? But it's like, picture Donald Trump before he had like all the power, and he just had like the fame, I suppose, and the money, and that fucking big Jabba motherfucker just like walked into a room and was just like, now it's time for the love. And it's just like, what the fuck,
Yeah, but
is it money? Is it the money that?
Or is it the story though? See, I just got done saying I there's just not too many people I wouldn't do if it got me a good story out of it.
Yeah, but I don't want to listen to that fucking story. Like, okay, go on. Go on with your story.
That's what I'm saying. Is
your story theory is like. Okay.
Okay. Well, look.
Perhaps I don't.
We were talking before about how you want to have the attention on you, right? And I'm the same way. I like to have the attention on me too. Now, imagine how much attention I get on me if I walk into a room and I say, "Hey, let me tell you about that time I slept with Donald Trump." All the attention's on me, and it's going to be on me for the next foreseeable future until I tell that story. Come on, that's what it gives you, right? That's what it does.
So that was her intention,
maybe
just to say she slept with Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, look, you're a porn star. You probably slept with a lot of people. The stories of the people that you slept with are probably not very interesting until you get to Donald Trump.
Yeah, I guess so. Like celebrity, like you want to sleep with a celebrity if you're like a budding wannabe celebrity.
Yeah.
Is that what porn?
But maybe that's it, right? Maybe you sleep with Donald Trump because because it gets out, and then all of a sudden, oh hey, everybody's talking about me.
Is that why porn stars get into porn? Because they figure it's gonna like lead to like fame?
Wow, I
Is
don't know.
is that the driving ambition when it comes to like I'm going to be in porn?
Yeah, but then you got to think there's different kinds, right? Like there's different kinds of musicians. There's ones that get up on a stage because they want to just fucking fuck around and have fun and entertain a few people in a bar, and then you got
like
other
those
ones that
people.
want to make a career out of it, right?
I hate those people.
Well, there you go, right? There's probably different kinds of porn stars. I'm sure there's exhibitionist ones that just love to do it for the sake of doing it, and if they're getting paid, then fucking bonus, you know. And then there's other ones that are doing it because they want to be the king shit of porn stars.
I just think it's funny how the media, it's like they make Donald Trump out to be this motherfucking piece of shit, and then they bring in this porn star. Her name is Stormy Daniels, and she is like the voice of reason. Like, oh, I'm the victim. You're not a fucking victim. You're a fucking.
Well,
you are a money hungry celebrity fucking sponge seeking motherfucking. You're just as bad as him.
Well, and see. That's the
She's
thing
not
about
the
it
good guy. She's not
is-
the good guy in this situation.
I think what's happening, and you look at all the go. No,
I
go.
got nothing against porn stars though.
No, me either.
I
fuck.
enjoy them thoroughly.
Me either. Fuck. But the way I
But
look
in the
at it
in the
is
context of all this,
you've got now the way I look at it is no matter what happened or didn't happen or anything, right? You've got a situation where this person has had this relationship with the guy that's now the president of the United States. Okay, whatever that relationship was, can be one. I'm not sure of what it was. I don't know the details of everything that went on. But if I'm her, and I'm at that point in my career, not that nothing against her, but I don't know what her situation is. But why not milk it while it's happening, right?
fantastic term. by
I
the
know,
way.
right? It was deliberate, but that's it though. There's a certain point, there's a certain part, and again, I have nothing against porn stars, but there's a certain point where you look at a porn star and say, well, yeah, that's the kind of person that's probably going to milk what they can when they can for whatever they can, and you get another 15 minutes of fame after a career of being a porn star, and you get a chance to have another 15 minutes of fame. Hey, why the fuck not?
Do you think
I probably would.
Do you think that's why this is coming out now? Because she is a porn star, and she's getting a little long in the tooth as far as up there and stuff like that. And this was the time to be like, well, maybe it's time to cash in, just to kind of.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that it's just that. I mean, I would say that might be part of it. Anybody who's in anybody who's in a career that is focused on, keeping the public's attention is going to want to do what they can to keep the public's attention. But at the same time, is that all that's motivating it? No, I'm sure there's a lot of sensationalist media that's trying to cover this just to have some kind of clickbaity title to say, oh, look at this, look at what's going on, look at this Trump.
Isn't
thing,
being a porn star like the absolute pinnacle when it comes to show business of trying to get attention though? It's like some people struggle their whole lives and they like who try to like be somewhat of a famous person or celebrity, and they go out and they audition for the Broadway version of Glee. Yet there's other people that will take their clothes off, spread their legs, and get like a dildo with hot sauce covered all over it, shoved up the butt, just to see the reaction.
Yeah, but
Like
at the same time though, you got to use what you got, right? Like if you have musical talent, you do music, or if you're like me and you don't have musical talent, you fake it. But you just do what you want to do.
That's GOAT, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I know, right? but you do what you want to do, and you play what you got.
Here's a question though.
What?
Say you didn't have a girlfriend.
Okay.
And you were, in Hollywood or something like that, and some guy came up to you on the road and said, "You look okay. You're a nice guy. Here's my card. Come out." And you went out to that interview or whatever it was, and you didn't even know what it was, and they said you are going to be in porn. Would you be a porn star?
Probably.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, like I don't see the issue. I don't see the issue with that. as far as I'm concerned. Like that's the kind of thing that I don't know. What's the downside? What's the
Well, it's like that stigma. It just follows you forever. Like your life is like you'll never be Paulie, the guy who works at like fucking Cinnabon. You'll be Paulie, the ex porn star that works at Cinnabon.
I mean the but see, here's the thing is that if it's gonna go down that way, you either gonna rock it and it works, or yeah, okay, you go down swinging. But at least when somebody talks to me about, oh, hey, yeah, you're that failed porn star, I can say, yeah, well, at least I was a porn star. How about you?
That's what would drive you to be a porn star?
Well,
You'd be
no,
proud of your body of work?
No. Oh, look, I mean, there's different kinds of performance art, right?
Yes. But, yes, I guess. Do you think most porn stars that become porn stars actually want to be actresses or actors?
No, I think a lot of them are exhibitionists that say, I would do this for free, so why not do it for money?
Or is it just that sheer, like, someone's recognizing me for something?
I think a lot of, I mean, it depends if you're talking about dude porn stars or chick porn stars, because I think there's a big difference there. I think a lot of the girls that go into it do it because they say, well, look, I get, decent amount of money out of it, and you know what? It's something that they feel comfortable with if they're, especially if you're an exhibitionist. I think that at this point, a lot of the at least legitimate porn companies are above board as far as, things like safety of the actresses are concerned. It's to me, I look at it and say that's just someone that's choosing to do a different form of art than what I like to do.
It's a weird kind of fantasy, like in a weird way, like you'd say, oh, I'd love to be a porn star, because you get to like have sex with these like porn stars, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do it though. I couldn't, like, I don't even post like personal stuff on Facebook where it's just like I'm eating a sandwich, because I sit at home. Like if I do that, I go back to that site and I'm like, oh god, I shouldn't have put that sandwich up there. I could not put myself out. Like I like being on stage and being like, blah, I'm a fucking, blah, but I could not ever.
Oh man, but see,
that's just me though. I guess.
You know where I would thrive there though. I think this is where I would thrive, is that in that moment where somebody comes up to me and they know that I've been in porn because they've seen that porn, what are they going to do to talk about it, and how awkward is it going to be for them to talk about it publicly with me if I sit there and own it? Because if I sit there and own it, then it turns into, oh, so you watch my porn, huh? What'd you think?
See, that just makes me uncomfortable.
Well, exactly, and you from seeing me on stage right next to you how much I love making people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that's where I thrive. That's where I'm a Viking. I love it. So
big porno Viking.
Exactly. So somebody comes up to me and starts trying to say something about, oh yeah, hey, yeah, I saw the porn of you, trying to make me feel embarrassed. There's no way that's going to be embarrassing to me. I'll sit there and own that and say, oh yeah, you're watching my porn, huh? Oh yeah.
That's fucked up. That just makes me that makes my skin crawl. That's cool. Yeah, see, I could never do it. I could never put myself in that situation out there. Just the thought of it, like, it never goes away either. Like all those girls that are like porn stars and they stop being porn stars and they try to go legitimate, but it's been said 1,000 times, and this is not, the internet is written in ink, and even though you try to take stuff down, I'll find it. I will find it, and if I want to find it, I'll find it one way or another.
But isn't that the dream? Isn't that the real dream?
I watched a movie called it's called After Porn Ends. It shows a whole bunch of porn stars after they're done, like, because when you're young and like awesome looking and stuff like that, like, yeah, porn, and then it kind of runs its course, and before you know it, you hit the cougar, you hit the MILF or whatever, and then eventually you're like 45 years old and you're like, oh.
Well,
That-
you gotta call it
that
before
15
it's-
minutes of dick
it's there.
ends, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and you guys might remember this, but part of the movie was Chasey Lane. Do you remember Chasey
Yeah, I
Lane
remember
from like the
Chasey Lane.
90s?
Oh yeah.
Dating ourselves, but fuck it, man. She was a big porn star, and now in that movie, after porn ends, she is she's middle age, I suppose,
Yeah,
40
yeah,
something,
yeah.
and she's like super plasticky, duck face. The whole
Yep.
looks like just like a shell of like what she was trying to be when she was like 25 or whatever in porn, and she is like so lost and so distraught, and I feel bad for them. It's just like,
but-
because you'll never live it down, man. You'll never not be that.
But that's the dream.
And even
though.
as
that's
even
the
at-
dream.
no,
man.
it's not the dream. And even as
Yeah.
fucked, well, from my opinion, even as fucked up as like the world is now, where like sex sells and like everything's cool, and yeah, you're a porn star and maybe you'll break into mainstream and stuff like that. But if you don't, you're just that person who did porn. You know what I mean? You'll always be recognized as that. Even if like somewhere you want to like start a legitimate business. Say you wanted to be like, I was in porn for 10 years, but now, I'm a little bit older and I want to start like a real estate business.
Paulie's used car emporium.
Yeah, exactly. You want to start like a real estate business, and I'm going to try and sell a house to this person. Wouldn't you in the back of your mind think like, oh, I just sold a house today? Was it because of a really good deal? Or was it just because the guy or the girl that came and saw you said, I just bought a house off the fucking porn star?
Yeah, but would you care? Would that make a difference because you just sold the house though?
To me,
one way
yes.
or the other.
Yes, it would.
See.
It would bother me a lot.
And I don't know. I have to go back to another point that you said, because I don't know. That seems to me like the dream that everyone has is to always be around forever. They say you die twice. You die when you die, and you die the last time somebody thinks about you or says your name. And if you have that porn that's on the internet forever, you never die.
All right, fine. But I guess. All right, man. Yeah. It's art, I guess, to a certain extent. Well, it used to
To a
be.
certain
I guess
extent,
porn
that's-
used to be art, but now it's just
Yeah.
like how wide can I get this asshole? It's like I was watching a.
There was, yeah.
I was listening to this Bob Saget stand-up comedy thing, and it was just like he's like, yeah, like when I was young and I watched porn, I'm like, I understood porn. He's like, nowadays I don't understand porn. It's like I turn on porn and it's like I'm going to ass fuck you in front of a jet engine. And he's like, is that porn nowadays? He's like, I just don't get it.
When you always have to push the
Yeah.
limits.
Exactly. You have to go more and more extreme until the point where it's just like,
Oh.
just shit on my chest. Right? And that's going to be porn one day. Like, everything can evolve,
Oh man.
but goddamn. Maybe we should play a song.
Let's play a song.
All right. This is a song from Ottawa's own Positive Charge off their record Undergrowth. This is a song called This City. This is Ego and Vice.
Somewhere along the rise of technology and productivity, we grew tired of waking with the sunrise. We traded self-sustainability for proximity, and what we are for what we have, abundance and greed. Though we compromise
So, as I said, whenever Paulie J is in the house, Ego and Vice turns into a free-for-all. Come what may, this is what you get. Next week, I have a couple guests in. It's really busy, my schedule for the next probably month and a half for Ego and Vice, so it'll go back to the more normal format. But I always look forward to these episodes because it's great to shoot the shit with you.
I love being here, man.
Cool. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can always email me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcasts, you can go to egoandvice.com. All the podcasts are there for free. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on iTunes. I'm working on Google Play, though. Apparently, that's big for Samsung users.
Is it?
Like Android?
Yeah. Well, I use that on my phone every once in a while, too.
And I'd also like to thank our gracious host, Potomatic. And this episode was brought to you by Area 613, the Big Rig Brewery, and the delicious beer that is
Paulie approved.
Paulie approved. Area 613. It's the Riptides beer. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's
so
delicious.
Until next week, Jesus Christ, graciously and thankfully, we end this episode. As for Paulie J,
That's me.
all right, we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Later.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.